Welcome to the deep dive. Ready to explore something pretty fascinating?
I'm ready.
All right, today we're diving into traditional Chinese medicine, TCM,
Okay.
and its approach to fertility.
Sounds good.
Now, I know TCM can seem a little, well, mysterious, right?
Yeah.
With all the talk of herbs and energy flow and things like that.
Definitely.
But we're going to break it down, don't worry. We've got a ton of research and expert insights to unpack.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Excellent.
Some research suggests that certain Chinese herbs could actually double pregnancy rates.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, within just 4 months.
Okay, so no more vague claims like TCM works.
Right.
Let's actually dig into how this approach is different,
Yeah, sounds good.
especially when we're talking about fertility.
So one of the core principles of TCM is individualized treatment.
Okay, so what does that mean exactly?
It means acknowledging that everyone is unique and their path to better fertility should also be unique, right?
So basically, it's not just a one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly.
TCM really focuses on, understanding your specific needs and tailoring a plan just for you.
That's it.
So I guess it's less like taking some random supplement.
Right.
And more like working with, say, a tailor, you know, who creates a custom garment for your body.
I like that analogy.
It just seems like a very personalized approach.
And speaking of finding a skilled tailor, it's also important to find a qualified practitioner
Of course.
who really understands TCM, right?
Absolutely.
So that they can properly diagnose what you need and create the most effective herbal formula.
Makes sense.
Now, one thing that really stood out in the research was the emphasis on preparation.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that too.
It's not just about what you do when you're actively trying to conceive,
Right.
but also about getting your body ready months in advance.
So why is that so important?
Well, from a TCM perspective, it's like preparing a garden
Okay.
before you plant seeds,
I see. You're creating the best environment.
Exactly. And biologically speaking, it takes around 90 days for a follicle to mature.
Which contains the egg.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, so that's like 3 months.
So those 3 months leading up to conception are crucial.
So you're not just, putting a Band-Aid on the symptoms,
Right.
but looking at the entire system.
Exactly. And that's where consistent treatment is so important.
Okay, so tell me more about that.
We're talking about taking herbs 2 to 3 times a day
Okay.
and having acupuncture
Uh-huh.
maybe once or twice a week.
Okay, so this is all happening during that crucial 90-day period.
Yes, to optimize your body's environment.
Makes sense.
Now, we keep mentioning these herbs.
Yeah, we do.
So how about we talk more about how they work?
Let's do it.
Especially for things like menstrual regulation and hormonal balance.
Right, because that's huge.
One area where TCM excels is in regulating the menstrual cycle.
To help with hormonal balance, right?
Yes, exactly. A regular cycle,
Yeah.
With predictable ovulation, that's usually a good sign of hormonal harmony.
So that's where the herbs come in.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Certain herbs have shown incredible potential
Tell me more.
in addressing hormonal imbalances.
Oh, interesting.
For instance, cinnamon is known for its warming properties
Okay.
and its ability to improve blood circulation to the uterus.
So cinnamon is good for more than just lattes.
Right. And it's really relevant
Yeah.
because a healthy endometrial lining, which is crucial for implantation,
Right.
relies on good blood flow.
That makes sense.
Then we have peony,
Okay.
which is often used to regulate the menstrual cycle and reduce pain and cramping.
Oh, wow.
It seems to have a balancing effect on hormones,
How so?
possibly by modulating follicle-stimulating hormone
Okay.
and luteinizing hormone, both critical for ovulation.
Okay, so now we're getting into the nitty-gritty.
Of course.
Which I'm all about.
And it's important to remember that this is just a glimpse into this complex world of TCM
Right.
and how it can be used for fertility.
Absolutely.
There's so much more to learn,
Yeah, from specific formulas to acupuncture techniques. Now, I know lots of people are curious about how TCM fits in with modern fertility treatments like IVF.
Definitely.
We'll dive into that more in a bit.
Sounds good.
But first, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll be back to explore how these ancient practices might actually complement the science of reproductive medicine.
Looking forward to it.
So before the break, we were talking about how TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, views preparing your body for conception as super important.
Yeah.
And we started talking about specific herbs and their potential benefits, But what happens when we combine those herbs with modern fertility treatments like IVF?
That's a great question.
Is there any evidence they can work together?
There's a growing body of research that suggests incorporating certain herbs and acupuncture alongside IVF could lead to better outcomes.
So we're not saying replace IVF with herbs.
No, not at all.
It's more like they can work together.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking at the whole picture, using all the tools available.
It's about supporting you on your fertility journey, you know?
I like that. So for example, one study found that women who used specific Chinese herbal formulas during their IVF cycle actually had increased endometrial thickness.
That's right.
Improved egg quality, and even higher pregnancy rates.
Exactly.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
It is.
And I remember reading about another study that looked at the effects of Chinese herbs. But combined with DHEA, taken before an IVF cycle.
Yeah, DHEA is a hormone.
Oh, that's right.
That declines naturally with age. And some studies show that supplementing with DHEA might actually improve egg quality.
Interesting.
And ovarian function. And when it's combined with certain Chinese herbs, the results are even better.
Wow. So what were the results of that study?
Well, the women who took both DHEA and the herbs before IVF had better quality embryos.
Which is key.
Absolutely, for successful implantation.
It sounds like these herbs are like a booster shot.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
For IVF cycles, helping create the perfect environment.
Exactly. But it's important to note.
What's that?
Not all reproductive endocrinologists, those are the doctors who specialize in fertility.
Right, the herbs.
Yeah, they're not all on the same page when it comes to TCM and IVF.
Oh, really?
Some may advise their patients to stop taking herbs once they begin the IVF medication protocols.
That makes sense. IVF has complicated medication protocols.
Of course it does.
And there's always that worry about interactions.
Right, absolutely.
But you're saying some RVs are more open to it.
A growing number are, yes. They're recognizing the potential benefits of herbs and acupuncture.
Especially in the months leading up to IVF.
Exactly, or even IUI.
So it sounds like good communication is key here.
Definitely. Transparency and a collaborative approach are so important.
For everyone involved.
To ensure a safe and effective treatment plan, you know.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears a bit. We haven't talked much about male factor infertility.
Right.
Which is a big part of the conversation.
It is. It plays a significant role for many couples.
And I think there's this misconception sometimes.
Yeah.
That infertility is mainly a woman's issue.
It's often seen that way, but it's not accurate.
When in reality, male factor infertility is really common.
Exactly.
So how does TCM approach male fertility?
Well, it accounts for about 40–50% of infertility cases.
Wow, that's almost half.
So it's definitely a shared journey, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And TCM offers a lot of different approaches to support male fertility.
Because sperm health is just as important as egg quality.
Exactly.
So what are some of those specific approaches?
Well, we talked about herbs earlier, but acupuncture can also be incredibly helpful.
Oh, how so?
It can increase blood flow to the testicles, which is essential for sperm production. And it's also great for stress reduction.
Right, because stress impacts hormones.
It really does. And we know hormonal balance is crucial for both men and women.
Absolutely. Now, remind me. Are there any specific herbs?
Oh, yes.
That have shown promise for men?
There are a few.
Right.
One that often comes up is Tribulus terrestris.
Tribulus terrestris,
Some studies suggest it can improve sperm count, motility, and morphology.
Morphology, now what's that?
That's the shape and structure of the sperm.
So it's not just about having more sperm.
Right.
It's about making sure they can, like, swim well.
Exactly, and that they're the right shape to reach the egg.
Makes sense.
Other herbs that might be beneficial include goji berries. They're full of antioxidants. And ginseng, it's known for boosting energy and balancing hormones.
So many options.
But as always, working with a qualified practitioner is key.
Of course.
To make sure you're getting the right herbs for you.
Now, we can't forget about lifestyle factors.
Right.
Diet, stress, sleep.
All those play a role.
How does TCM view those things in relation to fertility?
Well, TCM emphasizes living in harmony with nature's rhythms. Nourishing our bodies with good food.
So getting enough sleep is important.
It's crucial. That's when our bodies repair and regenerate.
And stress management is vital.
Absolutely. Chronic stress can disrupt hormonal balance.
And affect everything.
From ovulation to sperm production.
It's really about a holistic approach.
Exactly. Addressing all aspects of your life.
What about diet specifically?
Well, TCM emphasizes eating for your specific needs.
Okay.
Understanding your body's unique imbalances,
Yeah.
and choosing foods that restore that harmony.
Are there any general guidelines?
Generally, TCM recommends a diet rich in whole, unprocessed foods, cooked meals, and warming ingredients.
Like what?
Like soups, stews, bone broths.
So it's not about restricting yourself.
No, it's about nourishing your body.
With foods that support your overall well-being.
Exactly. It's about making those sustainable changes.
Yeah, that support your physical and emotional health.
Which ultimately creates a more fertile environment.
Now, we've talked a lot about the physical side of things.
Right.
But we need to address the emotional toll of infertility.
Absolutely. It can be incredibly stressful and draining.
How does TCM approach that side of it?
Well, TCM recognizes the strong connection between the mind and body.
The mind-body connection.
Yeah, it acknowledges that stress and anxiety can really impact our physical health.
Including fertility.
Exactly. So it's not just about fixing the mechanics.
Right.
It's about addressing the whole person.
Their emotional well-being, too.
Yes. TCM uses different techniques to address those emotional imbalances.
Such as?
Acupuncture, herbal therapy, meditation, lifestyle counseling.
So many tools.
It's about creating balance and well-being.
To help couples cope with the challenges.
Yes, and manage that stress.
Are there any specific practices you find helpful for that?
Acupuncture is great for calming the nervous system.
Okay.
It reduces stress hormones and helps you relax.
Interesting.
And certain herbs can also be really supportive.
For calming the mind.
Exactly, and fostering emotional well-being.
Combining those ancient practices with a modern understanding of the mind-body connection.
It can be really powerful.
Now, before we wrap up this part of our dive, I want to talk about something that might be on people's minds.
Yeah, what's that?
The cost of these TCM treatments.
Yeah.
I know it can be a barrier for some.
It can be. It depends.
On what?
Location, the practitioner's experience, the type of treatment.
So it's always good to do your research.
Definitely.
Talk to a few practitioners.
And have a conversation about pricing.
Right. Transparency is key.
Absolutely. And don't hesitate to ask about sliding scale fees or payment plans if finances are a concern.
That's good advice.
A lot of practitioners want to make TCM accessible to everyone.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
We've explored how TCM might complement IVF, how it addresses both male and female infertility.
Yes.
The importance of lifestyle and emotional well-being.
All connected.
Is there one key takeaway you'd like listeners to remember?
If I had to pick one,
it
would be that TCM offers a personalized and holistic approach.
Okay.
It honors the interconnectedness of your well-being, physical, emotional, mental.
It's not a quick fix.
No, it's a journey.
A journey of self-discovery.
And empowerment. It's about taking ownership.
I love that.
Of your fertility journey and embracing these ancient practices.
While still being open to the advancements of modern science.
That's it, creating a synergy between tradition and innovation.
Ultimately, it's about trusting your body.
Yeah, trusting its ability to heal and create life.
Beautiful.
So what are your final thoughts? Ready to wrap up?
I am. It's been an incredible journey exploring this with you.
Me too.
I feel like we've only just scratched the surface, though.
There's always more to discover.
Right. So to wrap things up, let's leave our listeners with something to think about.
I like that.
What's one question you'd encourage them to ponder?
Okay, so Western medicine often focuses on the what of fertility.
A what?
The hormones, the mechanics, the procedures.
Yeah, you see.
But TCM asks us to think about the why.
The why. Interesting.
Why might your body be struggling?
Okay.
What imbalances are at play? How can you address those root causes?
To create a more fertile environment?
Exactly, both physically and emotionally.
That's a powerful question.
It shifts the focus from just treating symptoms
to understanding the underlying causes.
And that can be so empowering.
Because when you understand the why,
you can make informed choices
that support your body's natural ability to heal.
Yes, to heal and thrive.
It's about being an active participant in your journey.
Instead of passively following a protocol.
That's a great way to put it.
I think we've reached the end of our deep dive.
We have. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
On this fascinating exploration of TCM and fertility.
I hope our listeners feel inspired
to explore the possibilities of TCM.
Yes, and embrace their fertility journey.
With a renewed sense of hope.
And possibility, remember.
Yes.
Your fertility journey is unique and precious.
It is.
Be kind to yourself. Trust your intuition.
Absolutely.
And never give up on those dreams.
Until next time.
Keep diving deep.
Wow. It's been really insightful.
It has.
Exploring this topic with you.
Yeah.
I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
There's always more, isn't there?
Of this ancient practice and how it can support fertility.
Definitely.
So to wrap things up,
okay,
let's give our listeners something to really think about.
I like that.
What's one question, like a big one?
That's a good one.
You'd want them to ponder.
Western medicine,
it often focuses on the what of fertility.
Like,
what are the hormones?
Right.
What are the mechanics, the procedures?
Right, the nuts and bolts.
But TCM, it kind of makes us ask why.
Why? Okay, I'm intrigued.
Why might your body be having trouble conceiving? What imbalances might be going on?
Yeah.
And how can you, address those root causes?
I see, to get to the bottom of it.
Exactly, to create that fertile environment.
Both physically and emotionally.
That's it.
That is a powerful quotient.
It really shifts the focus, doesn't it?
It does, instead of just treating the symptoms.
It's about understanding why those symptoms are there.
Exactly. And that understanding can be really empowering.
Absolutely.
Because then you can make informed choices.
You're not just following blindly.
Right, you're taking control.
You're supporting your body's ability to heal.
To heal and thrive.
Yeah, and ultimately to create life.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
I think so too. Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive.
We have.
A huge thank you to everyone for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
On this exploration of TCM and fertility.
I hope our listeners feel inspired.
To learn more about TCM.
And to embrace their journey.
With a sense of hope and possibility.
Exactly. Remember, your journey is unique.
It is.
Be kind to yourselves.
Absolutely.
Trust your intuition.
And never give up on your dreams.
That's so important.
Until next time, keep diving deep